Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again, ready to explore some fascinating sources together.
Looking forward to it.
Last time, we talked about the very start of the Sangha, right? The first 5 ascetics joining the Buddha.
Yes, the absolute foundation, the core group of renunciants.
Exactly. That was crucial, setting up that monastic path. But today, we're digging into something arguably even more transformative. We're looking at that moment, that specific point, when the Buddha's teachings started, well, rippling out, moving beyond just the monks and nuns, monks at this point.
Right, monks initially.
Yeah.
And starting to really connect with everyday society.
Yeah. So our mission today is to unpack how this profound message, which started with just a few, became this universal path, something open to basically anyone looking to end suffering.
And the key figure here is Yasa.
Yasa, right.
Yeah.
A young man whose sort of personal breakdown actually sparked this huge movement. It's quite a story.
It absolutely is. And Yasa's story, it's so critical because it marks that clear shift, that pivot point.
From just monks to something broader.
Exactly. From that small sort of exclusive monastic circle to a burgeoning spiritual movement that included both monastics and lay people.
Ah, okay. That's the crucial distinction.
It is. It showed really clearly that the Dhamma, the teachings, weren't just for people who gave up everything.
Not just for the hardcore renunciants.
Precisely. It was for anyone, whatever their place in society, whatever their background, if they were genuinely searching for liberation.
So this wasn't just like one more person joining up.
Oh, no. Far from it. This was the spark, you could say. Yeah. The event that really set the wheels in motion for Buddhism becoming a world religion.
Okay. Let's dive into Yasa's world then. What do the sources tell us about him? He was wealthy, right?
Immensely wealthy. Born into the lap of luxury, you could say.
Like properly rich, palatial home, servants?
The works, opulent living, servants attending his every need, musicians, dancers for entertainment, basically living what most people would probably see as the dream life.
A golden cage, maybe?
That's a good way to put it. All the sensory pleasures you could imagine. Everything material comfort could possibly offer.
But then something happens. There's this famous incident one night.
Yes, a really dramatic turning point. He wakes up late, or maybe early morning.
Right, the party's over, so to speak.
Exactly, and he looks around. The sources paint this picture of, chaos and squalor.
So the beautiful scene, it's gone.
Utterly transformed. The dancers and musicians he'd found so enchanting hours before are now asleep, maybe snoring, drooling. The sources use the word grotesque.
Wow. So the illusion shattered.
Completely. The makeup smeared, clothes are disheveled, instruments are lying around. It's this stark, unfiltered glimpse behind the curtain of pleasure.
And this hits him hard.
Profoundly, it triggers this deep internal crisis. He sees this scene, reflects on his life, this supposed paradise, and he's just overcome with this sense of dread.
And he actually says something, doesn't he?
He does. He cries out, oh, what distress, oh, what danger. You really feel the weight of that moment. His whole world, his whole understanding of happiness, it just crumbles.
That's powerful. It really makes you wonder, why him? Why does someone with everything feel such distress?
And that's a fascinating point, because Yasa's experience, it really echoes Siddhartha Gautama's own journey, doesn't it?
The Buddha's own disillusionment with palace life.
Exactly, seeing the suffering hidden beneath the luxury. So Yasa's crisis isn't just, a rich kid having a bad morning. It taps into something deeper.
A kind of universal existential angst.
I think so. That deep dissatisfaction, even when you're surrounded by comfort and pleasure, it becomes the catalyst. It pushes him to search for something else.
It shows that real happiness, lasting happiness, isn't about having stuff.
Precisely. It's a clear illustration of that core Buddhist idea. Attachment, even to nice things, ultimately leads to suffering, to dukkha, because it's all impermanent.
That link to the Buddha's own path really lands the point. It's not what you possess, it's the seeking that matters. So Yasa is totally overwhelmed. He feels this danger, this distress, and he just bolts.
He flees, runs out of his home in the middle of the night, basically. Wandering, distraught, not knowing where he's going.
Just trying to get away from that feeling.
Yes, and eventually, as dawn breaks, the sources say he finds himself at the deer park in Sarnath.
Which is significant because
that's where the Buddha is residing.
Yeah.
Where he gave his first sermon.
Right, so fate, or perhaps karma, leads him there. Picture that. This wealthy young man, probably looking a mess, agitated.
Still muttering, apparently, oh, what distress, oh, what danger.
And then he encounters the Buddha. How does the Buddha react to this distressed young man?
With just immediate, profound compassion. He hears Yasa's cry, sees his state, and responds instantly.
What does he say?
He says, "Here there is no distress. Here there is no danger. Come, Yasa, sit down. I will teach you the Dhamma."
Wow, just cutting right through the panic.
Yeah.
Offering immediate refuge.
Exactly. It's an incredible moment. That calm certainty, that immediate reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's precisely what Yasa needed.
An anchor, like you
Yeah,
said.
it grounds him. And then the Buddha doesn't just, overwhelm him with complex philosophy.
He takes a specific approach.
He does. It's called the gradual discourse, a step-by-step teaching tailored to prepare the listener's mind.
Okay, so what does that involve? Where does he start?
He starts with the basics, the foundations, generosity, the simple joy and benefit of giving.
Right, something quite tangible.
Very tangible. Then he moves on to sila, virtue or morality, how living an ethical life brings its own rewards, a sense of inner peace.
Makes sense. Building blocks.
Exactly. From there, he talks about the positive results of generosity and virtue maybe leading to good rebirths, even in heavenly realms. He acknowledges those aspirations.
But he doesn't stop there, does he? Because that's still kind of worldly.
Right. That's the crucial pivot. He then explains the drawbacks of sensual pleasures, how they're fleeting, ultimately unsatisfying, and a source of suffering.
Which must have resonated deeply with Yasa, given what he just experienced.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It directly addressed the source of his distress. And then finally, he speaks about the benefits of renunciation, of letting go of those attachments.
Ah, so it's a complete path, from basic good deeds to the ultimate goal.
Precisely. And this gradual approach worked perfectly for Yasa. His mind was prepared, receptive.
And the result?
He gets it. The sources say he attained the eye of Dhamma, understanding the Four Noble Truths, and became a Sotapanna, a stream enterer.
A stream enterer. Can you remind us what that means exactly?
It means he's entered the stream, the path leading directly to nirvana, to full liberation. He's guaranteed to achieve enlightenment within 7 lifetimes at most.
So it's a decisive turning point. No falling back.
Irreversible, a fundamental shift in his being, and at that point he formally takes refuge.
In the 3 jewels.
Yes, the Buddha, the Dhamma, his teachings, and the song of the community.
An incredible transformation from that distressed figure wandering in the night.
Truly profound.
But the story doesn't stop with just Yasa becoming enlightened, does it? This is where the ripple effect really kicks in.
That's right. This is where we see the expansion begin in a really remarkable way. It's not just Yasa anymore.
His family gets involved.
His entire family, essentially. First, his father. He's obviously worried sick, searching everywhere for his son.
Understandable.
He eventually tracks Yasa down to the deer park, and he also meets the Buddha.
And the Buddha teaches him too. The same gradual discourse.
Yes. And the father also has a profound understanding. He doesn't become a monk, but he becomes the very first lay follower.
The first Upasaka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The first person to formally take refuge in the 3 jewels while remaining a householder.
That's a huge moment. Establishing the lay path right there.
It's foundational, and think about what happens next.
The male invitation.
Yes. The father, out of gratitude and faith, invites the Buddha and his monks, including Yasa, who by now has requested and received ordination to his home, for a meal the next day.
And you mentioned this becomes a tradition.
A cornerstone practice. The sources highlight this act as the beginning of the enduring tradition of lay supporters offering food and requisites to the monastic Sangha. It continues everywhere in the Buddhist world today.
Amazing. So that practical link, that support system, was forged right at the very beginning of the lay community.
Absolutely. It wasn't an afterthought. It was integral from the start.
And it wasn't just his father, was it?
No, the chain reaction continued. While the Buddha and the monks were at the family home for the meal, the Buddha taught again.
And this time?
Yasa's mother and his former wife were listening, and they too gained insight and took refuge.
Becoming the first female lay followers, the first upasakas.
That's right, the first 2 women to formally join the lay community.
So within a very short time, we have Yasa ordained and his father, mother, and former wife all becoming dedicated lay followers.
Exactly. This whole sequence, triggered by Yasa's crisis, formally establishes what we call the dual community Sangha.
Monastics and lay followers together.
Working together. It fundamentally shaped how Buddhism would grow and sustain itself.
How did that dynamic work, that symbiotic relationship you mentioned?
Well, it's quite elegant, really. The lay community provides the material necessities for the monks and nuns: food, robes, shelter, medicine. This frees the monastics to dedicate themselves fully to studying, practicing, and preserving the Dhamma.
Okay, so practical support.
Yeah.
And what do the monastics offer in return?
They offer the greatest gift, the Dhamma itself. Spiritual guidance, teachings, moral example, and the opportunity for the lay community to cultivate merit, punya, through their acts of generosity.
Creating a kind of spiritual ecosystem.
That's a perfect way to describe it. A self-sustaining system where both parts support and benefit each other, allowing the teachings to flourish within the wider society.
It's not just a monastery isolated somewhere, it's integrated.
Deeply integrated. And this model, born from Yasa's story, is arguably why Buddhism was able to spread so effectively.
Okay, so the community is growing, Yasa is ordained. Any others join him around this time?
Yes, quickly afterwards. Sources mention several of Yasa's friends, also from wealthy, prominent families.
His social circle.
Right. They hear about Yasa's ordination, they're intrigued, they go to meet the Buddha, they hear the Dhamma.
And they follow suit.
They do. They also renounce their privileged lives, request ordination, and apparently they also attain enlightenment quite swiftly.
So the monastic side is growing rapidly too. How many does that make?
With Yasa and these companions, the number of fully enlightened monks, arahants, reaches 60.
60, that's a significant number already.
Yeah.
60 fully liberated individuals.
It is. And it's at this point, with this core group of 60 arahants established, that the Buddha does something truly groundbreaking.
This is the commission you mentioned earlier.
Yes. The Great Commission, you could call it. He gathers these 60 monks and gives them this incredibly powerful charge.
What does he tell them?
He says, and this is such a famous passage, "Go forth, bhikkhus," bhikkhus being the monks, "for the welfare and happiness of many, out of compassion for the world."
For the welfare and happiness of many, not just for themselves.
Exactly, out of compassion for the world. The motivation is key. He continues, "Teach the Dhamma that is lovely in its beginning, lovely in its middle, and lovely in its end."
A complete and beautiful teaching.
And he adds a crucial instruction. Let not two of you go in the same direction.
Ah, so spread out, maximize the reach.
Precisely. Ensure the message travels far and wide, touching as many lives as possible. Don't just cluster together.
This feels deliberate, strategic almost.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
This marks the beginning of Buddhist mission, you could say. The first great missionary effort.
Sending enlightened beings out into the world with a purpose.
And it was proactive. Most teachers waited for students to come to them. The Buddha sent his disciples out. That was revolutionary.
What was the historical significance of that, beyond just spreading the word?
It fundamentally shaped Buddhism's trajectory. It ensured it wouldn't remain a localized sect around Varanasi. It was designed from this very early stage to be a universal message for all beings.
Driven by compassion.
Driven by compassion for the suffering of the world.
And connecting this back to Yasa, his story was the trigger.
It was the essential catalyst. His personal crisis, his awakening, his family's conversion, that whole sequence created the conditions for this outward expansion.
Without the lay support structure starting with his father.
The practicalities of sending 60 monks out might have been very different. The establishment of that dual community was absolutely vital.
So Yasa's story isn't just about one person finding enlightenment.
Not at all. It's about how that one person's journey, met with the Buddha's wisdom and compassion, ignited a process that created the foundation for a global religion.
From personal distress to a worldwide movement.
That's the aha moment. The establishment of the lay Sangha and the subsequent commission to spread the Dhamma, these were the crucial steps that transformed everything. Yasa's experience was the key that unlocked that door.
What an incredible arc we've traced today. From Yasa's midnight despair in his luxurious home.
Oh, what distress, oh, what danger.
To the Buddha's calming words in the deer park, his enlightenment, his family joining, and then ultimately this commissioning of 60 monks to share the path worldwide.
It really shows how a single, profound search for meaning, when it connects with genuine wisdom and compassion, can have consequences far beyond the individual.
It created this thriving dual community, monastics and lay people supporting each other.
Which allowed the Dhamma to ripple outwards.
And the story really emphasizes that this path, this quest for understanding, for an end to suffering, it's universal, isn't it?
Completely. Whether you're living in luxury like Yasa or facing hardship, the fundamental questions about suffering and happiness are the same.
And the path is accessible.
Accessible to all who seek it sincerely. And it highlights how our own journey, our own awakening, doesn't just benefit us. It has the potential to contribute to the welfare of others, too.
That's a powerful reminder.
It makes you think, doesn't it? about those moments of deep personal crisis or disillusionment, like Yasa waking up to that grotesque scene.
We tend to see them as just negative things to get through.
Right, but maybe there's something more. Often, it seems, those very moments of breakdown are the most fertile ground for a breakthrough, for profound spiritual insight.
The cracks where the light gets in.
Perhaps. That feeling of distress or danger, that deep dissatisfaction. Maybe it's not just noise. Maybe it's an invitation.
An invitation to look deeper.
To question the surface.
Yeah.
To seek a more authentic truth. So maybe a thought to leave you with is this.
Okay.
What moments of distress or danger in your own life, big or small, might actually be nudging you? Might be an invitation to explore something deeper beneath the usual routines and assumptions.
And how might following that inner call, that personal quest,
How might that journey, even if it feels intensely personal, ultimately ripple outwards? How might it, perhaps unexpectedly, contribute to the welfare and happiness of many, just as Yasa's journey did all those centuries ago?